Hi everybody, my name is Jackie Bolston and I'd like to welcome all of the new members to the Divinely Loved Spiritual Development Global Team. We're so happy to be here. And if you have any questions, concerns, comments, please feel free to drop them in the comment box and we'll get to as many of them as we can. Also, a big hello to all of my Timesgate family. Since I'm introducing myself to my Divinely Loved new members, I'll keep you guys in the loop as well. I hope everybody is doing amazing tonight. My plans for this evening are to chat, talk, get to know each other a little bit, do some tarot and oracle readings, of course, and throw in a meditation. And the big theme tonight is to talk about love. So that's kind of what the plan is for tonight, and hope you guys can all drop in and join us. Let's get rolling. But yeah, feel free to drop any comments in there. Trying to make sure I've got all the comment boxes open. So the theme of tonight is, what's love got to do with it? Some of you have been around for a while, like I have, may remember the Tina Turner song. And how could you forget Tina Turner with those legs and the dancing? I mean, come on. Pretty amazing. But the song, what's love got to do with it? It has everything to do with it. Love is what drives all of us. It's a driving force, or it really should be a driving force. When we function from a place of love, our lives get better. The world gets better. And we just live better. I mean, it's pretty awesome. One of the things I like to look at is trying to, instead of looking through your eyes and looking through your heart, or looking through your eyes and looking through your brain, looking for your heart, looking through your heart. If I can talk, it'll help too. By looking through your heart, you don't necessarily see things in an angry manner quite as often. You see life in what it truly is. You start to see people as how they really are. When you look at someone that, say, cuts you off in traffic, and you get angry with them, you may not know that they cut you off in traffic because they're rushing to the hospital to see a sick or injured friend. But when you start to look through your heart a little bit, it makes it easier to do so. Because you see all of the differences, everything that comes about. And many of you know about the chakra system. For me, my heart chakra is one that I haven't really struggled with, but it's always been very active. So for me, talking about love is just a natural place for me to go. I've been learning to look at myself with love as well. That's been a big challenge for me. I have no problem loving my family, loving my friends, and working on loving some of the unlovable parts of the world. But it has been a lifelong struggle for me to look at loving myself. And some of the ways that you can do that is starting to see yourself through the eye of your heart, through the eyes of your heart, but also look at yourself as your loved ones look at you. Your parents, children, siblings, spouse, lovers, they don't see you the same way you see you. And if you can start to look at yourself through that same filter of love that you look at when you look at the people you love, it makes a huge difference. I've always struggled, I'm sure all of you have, but when we start to do that, we don't see the flaws. You don't notice that, oh, well, if I was this or if I was that. You start to see yourself and go, hey, I look good, I feel good. You see the good you're doing in the world. And those little changes blossom out and it becomes like a tidal wave. Because the happier you are, the more you love yourself, the more love you put out into the world, it magnifies back and forth 10 times over, 100 times over, 1,000 times over. And just that one little choice you make to maybe smile at a stranger, or, you know, tell someone, hey, that outfit looks amazing on you. You can make their day, and then they pass it on to someone else. So, who am I really? I'm no different than any one of you. I'm just like all of you. I struggle, I live, I work, I play, I have a family. I do a lot of things that each and every one of you do. I'm nobody special, but I've been through a few things, so maybe we can learn together and we can work together. I am in the upper Midwest. I live in the corn and pig state of Iowa. So for those of you that are in Florida, we get the hot weather, but only in the summer. So I'll come down and visit probably in the winter, because then it gets a little chillier up here, but I like the snow too. I've lived in the upper Midwest my entire life. I love being on the lakes. The ocean I've visited once, and I'd love to go back, and I will go back someday. But for me, being in the water helps cleanse everything. And that's where I feel most at home. I'm an air sign, so that kind of is a little confusing, but it's just the water is where I go to let all of my troubles go. But I was always by the water. Anybody who's familiar with Minnesota knows there's a reason it's the land of 10,000 lakes. And I love each and every one of them. One thing I like to do is help people learn that love within themselves. Oh, and I just saw some hi from Aisha, Nebraska. Hey, Sean. Yeah, Nebraska's not too far away. You're right, just a little further south. So glad you're here tonight. With us in the Midwest, some of you have probably heard Minnesota nice, and that's part of being able to love each other. There is some that go to the passive-aggressive route, but we just send them love, send them on their way, and embrace the love that we all have. So I did say we'd get a few cards going. So I think for now, we're waiting for a few other members to drop in. I'll get some love cards out and see what we can find. Don't mind me while I do the little technical part of getting the computer so I can see everybody's comments. What would we do without computers anymore? That's one nice thing about having all that love, is it keeps us connected. It keeps us right there with everybody else. And yeah, it makes our world so much more fun. Other than when they're kind of causing us a little bit of drama and giving us some pains, which kind of happens sometimes. Okay, well that one's not going to work for me. Well, we will see. So I'm only getting comments from the Divinely Loved Spiritual Development community right now, so if I'm missing you on Timesgate, please let me know. I'll try to get to everybody's comments. But how about we take a little look at love? And these are the Power of Love cards by James Van Praagh. Kind of see what the overall energy is for tonight, and if we're going to pull in some love, because that's what we all want to do, right? Doesn't matter if we're involved or single, we all want that love. Let's see what we have for right now. Amazing and awesome. The card is harmony. You're able to feel a loving, balanced connection with everything. Okay, now trying to get it in the camera correctly. That is a huge part of global love, and actually what we are all about with the Divinely Loved Spiritual Development Global Community is bringing that harmony and love to everyone. With love, it's not always easy to love yourself. It's not always easy to love each other. Like I said, sometimes people get a little crazy, a little cranky, and that kind of can cause some concerns too. I see Becky and Shelly over at Timesgate. Hello, welcome. With finding love, I'm obviously sending love to all of you. Because, hey, why not? I got enough of it in here, and I'm sure each of you do too. So we pulled a love card. Oh, let's do a little romance. See what the romance angels have to say about tonight. Because who's out there looking for romance? Like I said, if you just started watching, please feel free to drop a comment in, and especially if you're interested in a little live tarot reading, and I will do my best to get to you. And then here in about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes or whenever we get to it, we'll do a little if I can talk, we'll do a meditation to increase that love vibe and get the love energy flowing. We get it flowing around the world. That sounds like a wonderful thing to do. So, love angels, what do you have for everyone tonight? What is it you want to say? Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. So first we got harmony, and now we're getting give your relationship a chance. Always fun to try to get the camera the right way. I'm feeling this is going out to someone who's struggling a little bit to feel the love from their partner, or maybe you're not showing love to your partner as much as you should. Because everybody wants to receive love, but in order to receive love, you got to give love too. Just checking the comments, making sure I'm not missing anybody. So, a little bit more about me and why I'm here. I have been intuitive pretty much my whole life. When I was little, I was naturally drawn to animals and just that empathic side where I could feel when people were in pain and need a little extra comfort. Working with that and developing different strengths, because intuition, just like anything else, is something you can work to develop. We all have it. Like I said, I'm no one special. I'm just me. Some crazy lady who lives out on a farm with a bunch of cats in rural Iowa. And yes, I do have a bunch of cats. They're roaming around outside right now. Hey, helps keep the critters at bay so they don't get in my house. And they're fun to have around too. They keep things entertaining. I don't just have the cats. I have seen the big cats, mountain lion roaming through once in a while. Of course, we have deer, pheasants, skunks, raccoons, possums. For those of you who don't know, possums are awesome little animals. I used to think they were really creepy and ugly. They kind of are. But they eat wood ticks and stuff that I really don't want on me. So I just chat with the possums. I know there was one day I went to open my front door and there was a possum standing on my porch. So I just talked to him and eventually he walked down the steps and sauntered off. So it does get kind of like a zoo out here, but it's a lot of fun. And animals are a wonderful group to teach you about unconditional love. Your pets don't care what you look like. They don't care what you smell like. Well, the dogs maybe do. But they're going to love you for who you are. Doesn't matter if you're wearing the latest fashions, if you drive the cool car. They love you just for treating them right. I think we could all learn a lesson from the animals for that. So, any questions coming up for anybody? Oh no, Facebook, I don't want action. There we go. Sorry, little alerts pop up. But I'd love to welcome everybody to the Divinely Loved Spiritual Development Global Community. We are quickly forming and to share that love around. As well as my Times Gates folks, you know we're always bringing the love in. But I want to bring more love into the world because right now, with everything we've had going on, we really need it. It's not just, oh, you know, it'd be nice if. No, we each need to step up and do our part. And if each of us do something little, it can make a huge difference in the state of the world. That's why we're all here at this time. The world needs to change, and we're the ones to do it. So I'm going to get a little message from the fairies, and then we might launch into that meditation. You can't see my cards, they just slipped out of my hand when I was shuffling. Probably a good thing I don't have the camera pointed down lower. For those of you who wonder what I do, other than sit here and talk about animals and weird little things and sing Tina Turner songs, I am an intuitive medium, which what that means is I use my senses, my clairs. Some of you may be familiar with those. It's clairsentience, claircognizance, clairvoyance. It means I just hear, see, and know things a little differently than most people. And as a medium, I do talk to spirits that have passed over, or they talk to me, sometimes even when I don't want them to. But I've put up some pretty good boundaries with them, so that helps. I have studied medical intuition to help people learn what's going on with some of their medical conditions, to get to maybe the deeper meaning, because some of our physical ailments actually have an emotional-based response, and an emotional-based precursor of what caused them. One thing that I love to do, and it's on both my webpage and the Divinely Loved site, is soul stories. That's where I go into a person's Akashic records. What the Akashic records are is a huge storage base for all the choices each of our souls made. And it exists up in a different dimension, so it exists outside of time and space. You can think of it like a giant library where each of us has our own book or books. I work with the computers a lot during the day, so I think of it as kind of a big computer database. And that's where I like to go hang out, because with a soul story, I go in and find a person's soul level gift, the gift that their soul was born with when it was first created, whether that be something that works with the community, communication, love, depending on what it is. And then also find out some of the blockages. And that's what I love finding. People are like, how can you like finding blockages? For me, that's what a person can work with to truly transform their life. Because what the blockage is in our soul's journey, going back lifetimes after lifetimes, each time we have trauma or something like that, we create little kinks in the garden hose of vital force energy. And what that does, anybody who's familiar with kink in a garden hose and they're little, it slows down the flow. We need that vital force energy to be healthy, to be happy, to manifest the life we want. And the reason I like finding the blocks is getting rid of those blocks, clearing them out of a person's soul through the Akashic records, unkinks that garden hose. Lets more of that vital force energy flow through. And that's really one thing I love to do, and I wanted to tell the Divinely Loved family and community about that, because it is so transformational. It doesn't just help you feel better, like, oh, I'm going to be happy. It helps you learn how to make intentional choices to live within your soul path and not repeat the same type of experiences lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Most of the time, the work I do doesn't go back hundreds of lifetimes, because hopefully we've kind of cleared some of that karma up by now. But it goes back to enough lifetimes that are causing you the problems yet today. And people will ask me, well, how can something that happened in a different lifetime, or I don't believe it, that we have multiple lifetimes or in reincarnation, how can that affect, what I'm going through today? How can that affect, who I am and how my life is going? There are huge, huge different ways that can affect that. I've seen it with a lot of my friends, my clients, that I've worked in their Akashic records and worked with their soul story, that lifetime after lifetime that I'm seeing is a similar pattern that they're still repeating today. And going to the core of that, the original lifetime where that happened, helps to clear it out so they can start making new choices. And one thing we've got to remember when you talk about reincarnation, we've all been murdered people, been stolen from in our multiple lifetimes. That's why we come down here to Earth from heaven or the universe, spirit, wherever you want to determine it, is we come down to Earth to learn duality, learn polarity. Because when we're up there in that heavenly energy, that vital force energy, that pure, perfect bliss type of energy, we can't experience those contrasts. We can't experience light and dark, happy and sad. We come down here to learn. And not all those lessons are fun. I did a past life regression with a practitioner about a year ago, and I went through some pretty traumatic lifetimes. And I think I said to her later, I just want to learn about the lifetime where I'm, I have the happy, quiet life, die sitting in a rocking chair on the porch as a really old lady. Those aren't the lifetimes we go back to. Because those aren't the lifetimes we can learn from. Those are the lifetimes we learn the good part. But right now, we need to go back to those lifetimes that cause those trauma, so once and for all we can resolve them and let that trauma go. And by learning about that trauma and the choices that we made at that time, you can make different choices now, here in this lifetime. And who knows where you can go. Your options are limited when you believe in yourself, love in yourself, and stop holding yourself back. So that's why I chose the title of What's Love Got to Do with It? Because love's got everything to do with it. And it starts with loving yourself. Plain and simple. It's not easy though. I still struggle with it every day. I'll get mad at myself. I'm like, oh, Jackie, why did you do that? Why? Oh, and then I have to stop. I'm like, okay, yeah, I did that. But now how can I move on from it? Did I learn something from that? And that's what's really important about it. I was shuffling the fairy cards to get a card earlier, so maybe now it's time to go back to that. Apparently I had to say some of that stuff. I see we have a few people watching. Feel free to comment and let me know how your night's going. Hope it's going well. For some of you out on the East Coast or eastern area of the United States, maybe getting a little late. Let's see what the fairies want to tell us. Do some research. You need more information about the situation. Look into it further before proceeding. So how does this fit with love, the topic tonight? Maybe doing some more research on you, your hopes and dreams, looking at yourself. Journaling's a good way to do that. If you keep a dream journal or just I kind of call it a nonsense journal, writing down whatever thoughts come to your head. A lot of people call that automatic writing. To me, sometimes it comes out as gibberish because there's a lot that goes on up in my head. And yes, I know I made the crazy sign because sometimes I feel kind of crazy. But it helps. It helps to get those thoughts down on paper. And it helps to find out who we truly are. Because when you see certain thoughts coming up on the paper all the time, you can course correct. Especially if you see that you're talking negative about yourself quite a bit. Why? Is there something really to be negative about? Maybe if there's something that you don't like about yourself, you're the only one that can change it. I can give you the million tarot readings, but until you make those steps to change it, your life's not going to change. But I would love to meet with you for a tarot reading because, like Soul Stories and the chakra tune-ups and a lot of the other services I provide on both Divinely Loved and my own site, they help you transform. And I know there's a bunch of other wonderful ladies on the Divinely Loved site who do phenomenal work, and I am honored to call them my friends. So, looks like, I've been talking for longer than I planned on. I see we're at 26 minutes, and since many of you are probably getting ready to head off to sleep, how about we do a little meditation before I go? And this is a meditation that I've been doing for quite a few years. I know a dear colleague of mine, a friend of mine who lives out in the Black Hills of South Dakota, does an amazing meditation like this. So Brian of Twisted Sage, he does a phenomenal heart-centered meditation. Mine is just something simple you can do when you're feeling stressed or just to help you relax. So everybody get comfortable. It doesn't matter if you're sitting, laying down, standing, however you're comfortable. If you are listening to this while driving, please don't close your eyes while driving because I don't want to be responsible. I want everybody safe. Or, also if you're working with something, chopping veggies in the kitchen, please don't close your eyes. But for those of you who can, close your eyes, take a big deep breath, and let it out with a loud exhale. So deep breath in, let it out. Let go of all those cares and worries for the day. We'll do that a couple more times. Deep breath in, totally fill your stomach. Let those shoulders drop. Let yourself finally relax. One more. Deep breath in. Now I want you all to picture yourself with the energy of the earth, whatever color it comes up for you, whether it's golden honey, brown, green earth tones, flowing up through your feet, past your ankles, up your legs, past your knees, filling your thighs, coming up with each intake of breath, that energy filling you up more and more, coming up into your stomach and into your chest, reaching that heart space. Take another clearing breath and just hold that wonderful grounding earth energy in your heart space. And if you need to do multiple breaths, if you're slowly pulling that energy up, that's just fine. Just keep taking those breaths and pulling that energy out of the earth, that comforting, that Mother Earth energy, pull it up and into your heart space. Take a few breaths there and just let it fill your chest and your heart space. And when you're ready, I want you to picture energy coming down from the stars, the moon, the sun, whichever you connect with most. Filling the top of your head, going into your crown chakra. Moving down through your head, going past your third eye, into your sinus and nasal area. Filling your mouth, going past your chin, into your neck and throat. Going past your high heart, above your normal heart, and settling into that heart space. Just like you did with the energy from the earth, pull it in from the heavens. That beautiful angelic energy. Each intake of breath, pull it down. Let it fill your heart space. And when it's down in your heart, let it swirl and make a wonderful mosaic with that earth energy you're still holding in your heart space. Continue taking deep breaths in, pulling both the earth energy and the heavenly energy, letting them swirl in your heart space. Making your heart a wonderful marbling of the colors of the two. Just taking that deep breath. Feeling the love of the earth, the animals, nature, and the love of God, angels, universe, spirit. Feel it fill your heart. Just take a few moments to sit in that feeling of complete love. Any thoughts that are negative, send them some love and send them on their way. Think of anything that brings you those loving feelings. Now I want you to begin pulling the energy that you've had in your feet and your head, pulling it all through your body and condensing it into your heart space until your heart is glowing with that heavenly and earth energy. Until you just feel that your chest is about to burst with all that love. And when you've got it all gathered there, in the ball, in and around your heart, allow it to come through and either float in front of your heart, sit in the palms of your hands. Just take a moment with your mind's eye to see what that energy looks like. See how beautiful it is, how powerful it is. There's no negativity in there. There's only pure, wonderful love in there. And after a few moments, take that energy and just release it. If you want to toss it up into the air, see it going to families, going to loved ones, going to something that you know needs a little extra love, send it there. It's always going to be with you. You're not sending your own love away. You're adding to your own love, sending it where it needs to go. After you've released all that swirly, sparkly love, take another deep breath. And I want you to just, without opening your eyes, to see yourself through your heart. And I want each of you to tell yourself, I love you. Even if it's hard, even if it's a struggle, tell yourself, I love you. And take one more deep breath. And open your eyes. And anytime you're feeling stressed, just think of that meditation. It doesn't have to take long. You can do it in a few breaths. You're just pulling that loving energy from the earth and the loving energy from the angels, universe, heavens. And saving it within yourself if you need it, if you need a little extra. Or condensing it there in your own heart, adding a little of your own loving energy and sending it out to someone you know that needs it. So how's everybody feeling? I hope everybody's feeling good. Wonderful. I'm so happy all of you could join me tonight. This has been phenomenal, and I can't wait to see where we all go. I can't wait to see what happens with all of this. So I'm going to get going. I hope you'll find me on Divinely Love Tarot site or my own. The Divinely Love Tarot's website is www.divinelyloved-tarot.com, so you can visit me and the other phenomenal ladies. Otherwise, for those of you who are local, I'll see you around. You guys take care, and I want you to remember, I love you, and I do. Good night.